Hi guys, welcome to this short, quick, and fun video tutorial with me. In this video, we are going to learn how to paint this simplistic, fun, and whimsical peony spray, I guess you could call it. And here's what we're using to begin. We're using my Princeton Aquaelite travel set of brushes. I am thrilled to use these brushes because they come in a size 4, 6, 8, and 10. That's perfection to me, especially when you're traveling and you are limited on space and you need all these sizes. For paper, I'm using my Strathmore Ready Cut Watercolor. It comes cut up already, like so, and they are 5 by 7 inches in size. Again, a fabulous ad for travel if you're traveling. And then for colors, I'm using my MaimeriBlu set of colors, and this is the Jenna Rainey special. And this is the front cover for that. Beautiful set of colors. We've got permanent red light, primary yellow, green gold, quinacridone red, Prussian blue, and carbon black. All right, so we are ready to begin. I'm going to put this aside and we'll get started. Before I get started, I just want to remind people really quickly that everything I'm using in this video is listed in the description below, so please feel free to find the items there. And as per usual, if you enjoy videos like this, please don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, as it really does help my channel grow. Thank you guys. Alright, so we are ready to begin. I've sort of mixed some colors on here already, hence my water is a little bit peachy orange here. The two colors I have here are the permanent red light and the quinacridone red side by side, and then I have some of the green gold mixed in with a little bit of Prussian blue for our leaves and stems. So I'm going to be using two brushes for this. Feel free to use the two sizes that suit you best. I'm using the number 10 and the number 8. Number 8 is going to be to lay down our color, and the number 10 is going to be to smoothen things out using just water so we get our nice beautiful blends. So getting some color, I'm going to start off with the rose, the red light, that's what it is. Mixing some of that on here. We want like a nice 30-70% of that. And in fact, you can even go in with the water first and then drop in the color, but this is just my preference. I like to do the color first and then kind of smoothen things out. So here we go. I like to dip the tip of my brush in water for extra dampness. So pressing down my brush, I'm doing my first stroke. I'm going to do a couple of light little strokes on the side here. Going to get some more color and drop in my second little cup stroke. So we've got our nice little area there. I'm going to get the number 10 handy now, just getting some light color version of that color. I'm going to lightly sort of add some strokes at the top, touching some of that area to kind of give me background petals. And that's why it's lighter, because it's in the background. Then switching back to my number 8, while it is damp, I'm going to lightly touch down in the center of these strokes to give me a beautiful bloom happening. Now at any point during this time, if you want to go ahead and get some of that quinacridone red and drop that into your flower just to give you a nice little additional color happening in there, that would be beautiful. So I'm going to drop some of that in there as well so it gives us a bloom. And now we're going to do our petals that are flopping downward. Pressing down, I'm just kind of going towards the inside. I'm going to switch to the 10. And you don't have to, you could do it all in the one color if you wanted to. And I'm going to complete adding little strokes to indicate the flop. I'm leaving white space in between the two, just so that we have a semblance of partition and we know where things end and begin. And before these dry up, I'm getting some of the orange that we use, the red light, and just dropping in some strokes to indicate certain folds in our floppy little petals. And I love the addition of that little pink petal over there, but it just adds something nice to the whole situation. And last but not least, this is what I called fluffing, just to kind of give it a better shape using my number 10 with less color, more water. I'm just kind of going to lightly use the tip to sort of create more of these comma strokes around my flower. Again, this is what I call fluffing, and it simply means you're loosely adding strokes in to indicate fullness and add a little bit of depth, I would say, to your flowers. So again, I'm just going in with the number 8 and dropping in a couple of strokes of color in here so that it's not a stark dark and light. It's a gradual dark to light situation. And that's pretty much it for our peony. So you can add some additional flowers at the top and the bottom, just like I had in my example for you. So for that, I'm going to be using the quinacridone red. So these are the flowers I'm talking about. And all you're literally doing is adding, I'm using my number 6, and I'm just sort of pressing down, get a little bit more color. Pressing down for my first stroke, just adding comma strokes to either side on the middle stroke. And then finally to the bottom, I'm just adding little strokes like this. And notice they're just very organic shaped strokes, nothing to it outside of leaving that white space in the center so you have an idea of where the center of the flower is. And then we'll do one here at the bottom as well. Pressing down, leaving some white space in between each petal. Trying to do 5. If you can't do 5, just do 4. That's totally okay. And then again, let's do one more. I'm going to do exactly like what I had in the image there. So another tiny one at the top here. Perfect. And then what I like to call fluffing. And for that, I'm just adding a little bit of that red light to my color and just adding little dots of color, really. You could do a little bit of a splatter, but this gives you more control. The splatter, you really don't have too much control as to where it lands. So these just indicate little buds all around. So now for the next part with the leaves, you can either use the number 8 or the number 10, depending on how good you are with brush control. Feel free to also use your number 4 or your number 6 or something smaller if you really are wanting really fine lines. But I think I can get some beautiful fine lines with this nice fine pointed tip. So using the color that I've pre-mixed here, I've got that nice gold green and some Prussian blue here. It's going to give me a nice little olive green happening. Nice fine pointed tip, as you can see. And I'm going to start by connecting this flower with my peony. Nice fine line. Another one here, another one there. And then from there, I like to extend and kind of give it a little bit more shape and flow. So adding a nice little line that way. Pushing that out of the way. There we go. So that's beautiful. It's placed so I know exactly where I'm adding my leaves and such. We've got a nice little flow happening. Getting some color. I'm going to start adding my leaves. And for the leaves, all you're doing is you're pressing, using the tip, pressing down, trailing off. And you can even have extensions going outward where you've got a 3-leaf situation happening. And depending on your variations of mixture, you can get some nice dark green as well to sort of add into the center just to give you a nice little bump. I like to add a couple of leaves here and there just to kind of fluff up the situation and composition rather. I seem to be referring to composition when I say situation. Here we go. Here's another leaf happening at the top. And as you can see, because this dried up, you can kind of see that line happening in the center. And that's okay. I'm gonna add a couple more leaves here and there in between our flowers. You can even attach some of these little buds that we have happening, but you don't have to. You could even leave them open-ended. It is entirely a preference thing. Very loose, very light, and fun is what we're aiming for. And let's see, I think I am good with what we have so far. I'm just gonna add a couple more here. Fluff up this area a bit before we call it quits. And there we go, we are done. Now, one last comment that I would like to make, this was like a really nice quick little doodle sketch. If you want to go ahead while this area is damp or even after it's dried up and just darken the centers of the tiny flowers, you absolutely can. You can even do that for this center over there, maybe with a yellow or perhaps even the same color that you have. But in a nutshell, this is how you create a cute little whimsical loose peony spray. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and I'd love to see your work, so please do share it with me on social media. I am on Instagram and Facebook. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll chat soon. Bye.